Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear viewers, we welcome you to another interesting program. This is a new program that has been introduced to you today, and we are happy that we are with you every time and anytime. So today we are going to have very powerful people beside us here. You have Lamin, who is going to introduce himself, of course. You also have Khadija, who is also going to introduce herself. We are all from a very wonderful association called Yet to Sign. Interesting, Yet to Sign. A lot of people, when we mention this, Yet to Sign, they would ask us, when are you going to sign anyways? But whenever they see the performance from this wonderful group, they would then call us aside and say, you are already signed, so what do you mean yet to sign? We will tell them, okay, this is just something that is of interest, that whenever it is mentioned, it taps the interest of the people and they want to know what is really embedded inside. But then today, all of that is going to be known. But before going further, I am going to allow my honorable bosses beside me to introduce themselves to the viewers.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ghazali. Of course, you are the bigger boss here. I am Lamin Diallo, an executive member of Team Yet to Sign, and also responsible for coordinating the activities of the boycott.
Thank you.
And I am Khadija Tujiba, as well an executive member of Team Yet to Sign. Thank you, Mom.
Just like they said, and just like you see them, these are powerful writers. These are powerful writers, powerful poets and poetess, if I would say. Yet to Sign is we are blessed with that. We are blessed with people who, when they write, you think these are the Secretary General of the President of the United States or wherever, England, I don't know. Whenever they speak, you understand, you also derive the wisdom from whatever they are saying. They are able to get to the hearts of the people. So Yet to Sign basically started as a very small group from a school, Kabafida, and that is where we are today. That is why we decided to have our first program in the same ground where the team has emerged. It started as a school club from a very idealistic individual who is Mr. Swane, Lamin Swane, and whom in fact the name has been derived from. He is called Yet to Sign because he was used to writing very wonderful pieces, wonderful poems or short notes on the book, and at the end of the day nobody would know who wrote this. He would just write beneath it, Yet to Sign, Yet to Sign, Yet to Sign. Nobody knows who Yet to Sign is. So this name has been derived from this particular idealistic individual. So the team's motion or the team's notion, what they are known for doing is writing poems, debating, presenting ideas that will help the society and the children, the youth, females, and all of those people. Everybody that is involved in the society, the team is focused on you. They want to help you get to the level that you really want to get to. And in the times of tough events, for example, political events, events that could incite chaos, events that could bring problems to the society, the team is always on to ensure that the society remains peaceful and wonderful. We do this by bringing children who think they are nothing, but definitely we see that that greatness in them. We exploit it because we know every individual has within themselves a very powerful being. You have within yourself another being that is really powerful, that can bring something out of nothing. So these children realize this. We realize this ourselves because we are not perfect ourselves. We have bigger coordinators, just like I said. We have people like Lamin Swane, we have the Jobatas, two Jobatas, definitely the Buba and the Ismaila, and we also have the Faderas and a lot of other people, the Sanyans, who are behind us, who are trying to help us see through our goals. So this is the basic idea of the team Yet to Sign. We want to help the children normalize the Gambia and normalize the world entirely. So we are going to go with this. First, I want to start by opening this forum a bit by asking my honorable colleagues here so that he tells the viewers, so that the viewers know how we want to help the children triumph, how we want to help them come to the stage and become who they want to be in the future. Honorable.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ghazali. That is an important one. I believe, I would have to repeat the saying, the children, of course, are the future. And I'm part of those children, despite the fact that I'm an executive member, and I'm also trying to see to it that I do for them part of it what was not done for me. I believe it still goes around the saying that the children are the future, and I'm also part of the future. As Chino Achebe once said, where are the young suckers that will grow when the old banana dies? Of course, I'm part of those young suckers. The children are also part of the young suckers. And as you rightfully mentioned, they have something embedded in them that they don't realize. So we want to help them realize their potentials, right? Sometimes you would see someone who is so capable, but there is this feeling of fear inside them. You understand? So one of the things that we do in Team Yet to Sign is to cast out that fear, right? We want them to realize who they truly are, right? Because not everybody understands what is inside them, right? So you need someone to tell you exactly what is inside you, right? That is what was done for me. It was what is done for Khadija too, and I believe yourself too, by that same person, that same idealistic individual you mentioned. Yet to Sign, he has been there for us. He did great things for us, and those great things are the same things that we want to do for the children. Of course, Pilo Lumumba would say what the struggle towards what success is a relay race. One generation will have to pass the baton to the other, right? Team Yet to Sign did this for us, and we also have to do it for the kids. In fact, that is the reason why when you were doing the introduction, I was listening keenly. You mentioned that it of course started in Kabafita Oban Senior, but we don't want to be selfish. What do we want to do? We want to generalize it. Right? We want to have each and every youngster in this country to be a member of this team. Come on board and realize your potential. You understand? So basically what we do for the kids is that we encourage them. You understand? We encourage them, motivate them, and support them in whatever way we can to make sure that they would be tomorrow that architect or that future of greatness, right? Greatness in human structure. That is what we want to see in these kids. And basically that is the reason why we motivate them, and we do everything possible to make sure that these kids sign. And as you said, whenever we have programs, of course people will come and say, okay, why did you give this team's name as what? Yet to Sign. You guys are already signing. You are doing great things. In fact, you are doing greater than many other people out there. But we still said what? Hey, let's remain humble, right? Because humility is important. Despite the fact that we are signing, it's important, like we remain humble and do things low key, and make the kids realize their potential. It is not a competition, right? In Team Yet to Sign, we are not competing. All that we do is to help people realize their potential. What do you want to become? Or hey, this is what you are. You are not realizing it. Come in Team Yet to Sign. Let's get this thing done for you. Yeah, basically, I think I would
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. And I am sure we are going to see all of these things in just few weeks time, because the program has started today, and this is going to be a weekly program. And you are a powerful performance here. You're going to know what we are saying here is no lie. We are going to bring in people here that are going to give you inciting words, poetic words, poetry, drama, the word, the spoken words. They are going to give it to us, all of us that will be viewing these programs, and we are going to learn from them, and we're going to know that this team is really productive. But then, this is difficult really. Whenever you want to gather people, you really want to tap into their potentials. There are a lot of efforts that are supposed to be exerted, being physical, being monetary, being a lot of other things. Time itself is so precious, and basically I'm saying this because I know funding is usually very difficult, and if you don't have it, it is very difficult for you to grow as a group. So I want to know I want you to tell the public, so that the public knows if really we are able to achieve all of these things because we have the sponsorship from somewhere, or we are being funded by maybe another generous individual, or what is going on. How do we get our funding?
Thank you very much, Ghazali and Lamin, for giving the show that good introduction. But honestly, Team Yet to Sign is a self-funding institution, like an association. We have been funding ourselves since inception. Like the baby Team Yet to Sign was called the Beauty of the Pen. Since those earlier days, we have been trying our best to fund ourselves. You will be like, there will be certain times, like you said, when there are trying times in the society, like period of politics and all that. Team Yet to Sign will venture into sensitizational dramas. We visit communities like Daro Hairu and all other places when tribalism was at its peak. But since those days, Team Yet to Sign have been funding itself as the beauty of the pen. We went to a stage that we generalized it to be Team Yet to Sign. Still, we fund ourselves. At times, when we want to have an event, we'll call on each other, let's contribute this particular amount, and then program this stuff. Let it be very organized to make sure we give the platform to our youngsters to be able to showcase their talents. We have been doing this, funding ourselves, and at times we'll also go to an extent of making it a fundraising event to gain ourselves some stuffs to be able to do a lot more, talent shows for the children. All these shows were to give them those platforms for them to be able to, showcase their talent. So all in one, we are funding ourselves. And honestly, we will really be grateful if we can get funds somewhere. I mean, this is for the children. And just like you and Lamin said, the children are the future. And of course, the country needs its future. We are the cream. And if we are to instill in them these great, stuffs, then it will be very, very helpful. We need to start helping the young generation for them to become what they really need to be for the country. Sure. Definitely.
Africa is suffering from intergenerational
succession
number or whatever. So
in
in order to ensure we have a brighter future, then you have to start it from the children, because they will be the futures, just like she said. There's no way that you can focus, you can give all your attention to those that are old-aged people, because if you do, at the end of the day, they will die, and the successors will come, and there would be people who your efforts were not exerted on. So right now, the most important thing is to ensure those people that are becoming the future are properly modeled, are properly molded and made, so that they can prepare for that future. So if we are focusing on the children, then we are focusing on the Gambia entirely, and we are focusing on Africa. But really, that must be, I know the viewers would know, that must be really difficult.
Funding yourself.
People who are capable of doing this great thing and are still funding themselves. That is why perhaps you might not be able to have access to a lot of luxuries, because usually it will be difficult if you want to call for a program so that the masses are aware of certain things that are happening. You would have to exert efforts to ensure that you are able to get that money. And where do you get it? From the same people who are in your association.
Interestingly, they are all school-going children, laying aside their lunches and all that.
So that must be really difficult.
Exactly.
So that is terrible. I think the society should ensure that they understand that this is their own club, this is their own association. If the children are supposed to pay some amount of money, that might be very difficult. I know you are amassing your lunch maybe for a few days. That is why a lot of programs will be sabotaged.
Exactly.
If you want to have a very big program by the end of the month, because campaigns are happening and you want to ensure the public is aware of the dangers that come with campaign or elections, you might not be able to do it because you might not have fun at the right time. So that is one difficult thing. So that brings me to another important question. What are the challenges that we face, that we both, maybe you will tell us some and Harriet will tell us some of the challenges that we face in trying to solve some of the problems facing the society, and perhaps monetary issues and all of those things. What are the challenges that we face?
Basically, I think the main challenge that Team Yet to Sign has is funding. The kids are more than willing to realize their potentials. Whenever you call them to come for rehearsals, they are always on the ground. In fact, sometimes they even get there before us. They mobilize themselves, start doing the actual work, and whenever you find them doing it, you are impressed. You know that, okay, these people are good to go, right? Sometimes you don't even need to be there because they already know what ought to be done. Right? So basically the main problem we have is funding, right? That is the reason why the team is not where it is. It is supposed to be, somewhere high, right? But the reason why we are still dormant, no one is hearing us. Dormant in the sense that no one is hearing us outside, right? It's because of what? The funding. I believe the kids are contributing immensely in righting the wrongs in society. It does not only mean that one has to be working in office for you to be able to take part in national development. Hey, talent is also part of national development. The drama, the poetry, you understand, comedy, they all part of what developing the country. We have seen a lot of people out in the outside world who have gained a lot when it comes to the little talents that they nurture, and they are doing great things as a result of that. So why not us? Why not us? We are trying all our best, as Honorable Jobate would say. You have to let people lean on you, right? So that they would also know how to let you lean on them. We are allowing these kids to lean on us. We are doing everything possible for them. But we have a challenge. What is this challenge? Money, right? At the end of the day, we might even be unfortunately, sorry, I don't know how to put this. We might even get stuck at some point because we will not be able to, continue tapping money from these children. Sometimes I even feel sorry, like asking these kids every now and again, we need to have a program, bring this, bring that. It's sometimes I feel sad that we are collecting it from them, and at the end of the day, they are realizing their potential, of course. But what exactly are they also going to get from it? This should be kids that are supposed to be treated specially by society because they have something in them. The society should hold them at a very high esteem.
Sure.
Why did I say that? It's because they are ambassadors of change, right? There are people that are going to take care of society. There are people that are going to right the wrongs. In fact, they are already doing that, right? Whenever these kids perform, they touch the hearts of the elderly. The last fundraising that we held, many people came there. And when they went, of course, some of us are colleagues in the university. They tell me, hey, your kids are very good. I mean, why are you guys still where you are? And my answer is funding.
Definitely.
We don't have the funds. Because if you don't have the fund, you cannot go where you want to go to. You definitely will not be able to reach where you want to. They are giving us their time, and we, of course, are giving them our time. The dedication is there, the commitment is there, the willingness is there. But when you have all these things, you don't have money. At the end of the day, it takes you back to square zero or next to square zero, because if you don't have money, it's apparently not going to be possible to do great things.
And don't forget, this program is given to us free. We are having a free time here, and thanks to the Vision TV, the staff of Vision TV, thank you so much. Without this, the world will not even be able to hear us because we cannot pay for this time right now, and we want to say we are very thankful. So that brings me to another point. How do you think lack of funding will affect our recordings? For example, I remember some time ago we wanted to record
poetry lineup.
Exactly, but we couldn't do it because of funding. So how do you think this would be interrupted by lack of funding?
Yeah, sure. It is interrupted by lack of funding, of course. Lamin, we couldn't go ahead with that.
Exactly.
We couldn't. And it was a particular poem that needed to come out at that very point in time. It was elections period, and then we all know Gambia right now is infected with that tribalism syndrome. And the poem was like, it was a perfect piece by youngsters of Team Yet to Sign, like a combination. And all of the children have rich lines talking about tribalism, its dangers, and how we can, do away with it to have a sustainable Gambia and the world at large. But we couldn't go ahead with it because of lack of funding.
And don't you think this can discourage the kids?
Exactly.
If they have been speaking for, let's say, ages, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, nobody hears you.
Exactly.
You're only here talking to the people. Nobody hears you, and nobody recognizes you.
It is an inspiration killer.
Definitely, you go down, you say this has no use, it has nothing. So I think the masses should be able to do something about this.
And it is affecting the country. People might think it is not affecting them because they do not even know what is happening that should come to their notice. But if they give this a chance, if they give themselves a chance to hear from these children, they will be like, why didn't we do this a long time ago? They will surely, Team Yet to Sign, the children.
By now we should have been, in a completely different level.
Exactly.
As Khadija said. It is not going to affect only the kids, but it is going to affect the entire country at large. As Denzel Washington once put it, he was addressing graduating students. He told them, when you have talents in you, you need to let them come out. Because on your deathbed, those talents will be angry at you. You are going to go back with them to the grave, and that is true.
Inspirational.
Right? But here are kids that have talent. They don't want to go back with those talents to the grave without, giving them out to society. But what is society also doing to help these kids realize their potentials? What is society doing to make sure that these kids did not go back with these talents to the grave and the talents would go automatically useless? They also ought to hand this down to the generations that are going to come after them. Let it continue. right? Yet to sign did his quota, he did his part.
He did.
He's studying somewhere outside this country.
Still, he's helping.
He's
helping.
Even if we have programs, he's a student.
Exactly.
But he still sends money for this funding of this team, meaning he has the country at heart. Whenever you talk about this money, he would say, I'm doing this for the Gambia.
Gambia.
Yeah, we also want to do this for
Always.
the Gambia. And it was not done for him, but he was doing, he's doing it for us. And he wants us to continue doing it for them. There was a time I was on the phone with him. Do you know what he told me? He said, Lamin, I want this thing to be an industry, a movie industry. What an ambition. But hey, when are we going to get there? When we lack funding at this early stage. It is a problem. So I think funding is the main problem of this team, and once we get that, Gambia will know that, okay, this kids.
I believe we have philanthropists that are listening to us right now.
Yeah,
so they might be willing to help, and anybody who wants to help, phone numbers would be on the screen. Perhaps they will take them and link us up and try to see how best they can help us. But before we wrap up, because this is just an introduction, we are going to see the detailed form of what is going to be happening here in the subsequent days. I promise you that.
Yeah.
But before we go, we want to talk about, perhaps there are a few things that we want to achieve. So we want to maybe mention a few of them. What are the things that we might want to achieve, and perhaps why, maybe? Why do we want to achieve some of these things?
Okay, I think this goal is one. We want to contribute to the development of this country, and different individuals have to contribute differently, right?
Yeah.
We all are experts in completely different domains because people are different, like we are uniquely different, you understand?
Sure.
So this is our area, poetry, the drama, right? Yeah, I believe with this, the Gambia would be able to realize that we also have talents, right? Yeah, we have Umar Champion Cham. He represents the Gambia outside. These kids can be the next champions when Umar Champion Cham retires. We don't want the championship to stop at only Champion Cham.
Exactly.
Let there be thousands of champions. Let there be competition in the poetry of this country, right? Let the drama industry be hit as Nollywood. Do you understand? Yeah? They also started somewhere,
Yeah.
and I believe it is this premature stage that they started. Why not us? We can do great things. The goal is to, represent Gambia somewhere tomorrow. The goal is to make Gambia great in this domain, just like other people are also doing it. We have our footballers; they are doing great, right? Why not give support to, the
Writers and
the writers, right? I know we have a writers association, in the country, right? But I believe there should be more to the great efforts they are doing. Right? Let them reach out to the corners of this country, because it is in these corners that we have great people. Right? Sometimes we are so focused on the big image that we miss the
the hidden ones,
Yeah, the hidden ones.
Lamin.
Yeah, they should follow the coordinates to greatness. Right? I am proudly saying that these kids are greatness because I know what they are capable of doing. I've interacted with them, right? And I have known what some of them are doing, great things that I am doing. That poem you are talking about, it was a great piece, and I am here sitting down saying that I am guilty that the piece is not out. But I believe society also would be guilty, though they don't know what that piece entails. But I'm saying that society is also guilty for not reaching out to this thing, right? So I believe we need funds. That is the way we'll be able to realize our potential, right?
Sure.
We have a goal, we have a vision that we want to achieve in the near future, and it is only with support that we will be able to.
That's indeed, it's cold. It's very cold. The people who want to help themselves and help the society, help the country in which they live, they want to do this by the poetry, by drama, by this. We will have to understand certain things here. These things do not only educate, they also entertain. And most people learn when they are not under pressure.
Exactly.
That is the truth. Most people learn fast when they are not under pressure. When they are under pressure, they find it difficult. Just go to the schools, retain students in that classroom for more than 4 or 5 hours. They become bored and they said, "Oh, last period, so I don't understand anything." Sure. They don't, because now they are tired of sitting. But now the people that will be entertaining them a bit, they will be laughing and then injecting that knowledge into them. That is when they catch up. So that mutual understanding will come. The peace will reign when you inject the people, telling them how good peace can do, and also making them laugh a bit. by the dramas and the poetry and some skills that are going to be coming on your way very soon. So we want to stop here today. This is just an introduction. The detailed ones are going to be coming very soon. So before we leave, can you please give your final remarks or your concluding words to the viewers?
Yeah, it will be the same old stuff that we have been saying here since we started. This is Team Yet to Sign, an association like filled with youngsters with great potential. So we help one another and make sure they realize these potentials. Some of them have already realized it, but still we want to, help them show these potentials to the whole world. It is Team Yet to Sign, but it's time we sign. Yeah, we want to sign.
That's very true. I think my concluding remarks would still be the same, right? It is a team, a young team that is rising. It is signing, but it is also rising because we need recognition. In order to, get where we want to get to, we need support. You understand? We need support. That is why we are here. Vision TV is, of course, doing their quota. They are giving us this free time because they believe that we are capable of contributing towards righting the wrongs in society, and that is exactly what our visions are. So I believe the other people, of course, the magnates of society, should also be able to, reach out and at least, give to their children, help them realize their potentials. Together we can make the Gambia great. Together our voices would be heard, not only on the intellectual side. We have a lot of intellectuals in the Gambia, but we want Gambia to be heard outside by people when it comes to poetry, when it comes to drama and other things that are talent related and not only the education aspect, right? So those are my final words.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and the cameraman. Thank you so much, Mr. Kurubali. And talking to the people in the Writers Association, I know they are doing very well. They are doing very well, but they need to extend their branches to these small groups that are there. They might have architect of the future. They might have people that they can recruit from those stages and bring them up. But usually if you only focus on the people that are already there, you leave aside the ones that can become better in the future. So perhaps they will also look into this. I know they are doing good. The Honorable Cherno, I know you and your guys are doing very well, and we are saying thank you so much for your viewership. Thank you.
Yep.
Till next